welcome to the Figuring Out Podcast. I'm Dana.
I'm Dominique.
And we are on episode 19!
19.
There we go, baby.
There it is.
I love that angelic voice. How are you, Dominique?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
You hanging?
I'm fooling around.
You're fooling around?
I'm fooling around.
You shouldn't fool around while you hang. That is a safety hazard.
I like a risk.
Good. I think it's good to live with a little risk.
2019.
'Tis the
More
spice
risk.
of
More life.
More life, more spice. Spice Girls, they're coming back, guys.
Speaking of spice, I can't wait to eat those tacos tonight.
I'm really excited
Girl.
for you to eat these tacos. Please tell us about your tacos.
They're just veggie tacos. They're soft shell corn tortillas with steamed spinach, steamed carrots and broccoli, some diced tomatoes as some salsa, and a little tapatio.
Bada bing, bada boom.
There we go, baby.
Sounds beautiful.
You're beautiful, Dominique.
Oh, you're beautiful. You know what else is beautiful?
What's beautiful, Dom?
Chips and salsa?
I think something else that's beautiful is our guests this week.
Our guests? More guests?
More guests! We're just so fucking popular.
Yes, we do know more people than we can count on one hand, guys.
So, guests, who the
Yes.
fuck are you?
My name is Jerry Alberto, and I am a movie connoisseur. I have a dog and 10 cats.
And my name is Michael John McCarty, and I happen to be an avid film lover, and I work at Wawa.
Can you get us a discount?
I actually cannot give you a discount. I'm so
I can
sorry.
give you a discount at Target.
Alright, so the door's over there. Just kidding.
You can
I'm
stay.
so sorry.
So actually, I know Jerry. He is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my entire life. And I know him because he is one of my ex-boyfriends.
Ooh, scandalous. Just kidding. You guys seem to have nothing but good vibes between
Yeah,
you guys,
no.
which
Absolutely.
is so rare.
One of my favorite people ever.
That's
I love
awesome.
Dana. She is a queen.
Aww,
Aww.
so sweet. And you are a creative genius, which is why you're on the podcast.
Don't let him
this
take all the
episode.
credit. Don't let him take all the credit.
Both of you. That's why both of you are on the podcast. But you guys are creating crazy shit, and we want to talk about it.
Yeah, you guys
So,
are...
tell us who the fuck you are and what you're doing.
So we kind of don't know what we're doing, and I think that's what makes it so great.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of just build off each other ever since we met last semester in school, or 2 semesters ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably about this semester coming up at OCC, this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our 1-year anniversary, Michael.
1 year friendiversary.
Yep.
Oh my god,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But yeah, we pretty much just been, once we found out we both just like the same stuff, filmmaking and everything,
Mhm.
we kind of just figured why not try it out for ourselves. I mean, neither of us had really made anything up until that point, so we figured why not get the experience. It's kind of like our own internship, I guess.
Yeah, it's it's a lot of fun creating your own ideas because you can kind of go wherever with them, and you don't have to follow like one specific path. You can kind of branch off and do your own thing.
Okay, so have you guys collaborated and come up with a couple different ideas? Is it just...
We have lists and lists of ideas that are going to come soon.
Yes.
Yes.
And one of those ideas recently came to fruition, yes?
Oh yeah. This was something that Jerry presented to me. It's a weird story of how it came about. It was kind of just like around this time, maybe a few months ago, he came up to me and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm really enjoying that TV show Supernatural."
Supernatural, yeah, because I was like, 10 years late on Supernatural because they made the Scooby-Doo episode, and I watched it, and I was like, I'm going to watch this show. So I was like 3 seasons in, I was like, Michael, Supernatural Perry, Stupid Natural, let's kick it.
3 seasons that he binge watched, by the way. Also, while I was in the house, while we're hanging out, he's like, "All right, I just have to finish this episode of Supernatural." Like he was so obsessed with it, it's ridiculous.
I'm definitely excited to get more into that later and see how, y'all cultivated that shit. But, to start off, we do have a question for you guys from our previous guests.
Every episode, we like to ask our guests a question for the next guest. So, their question for you, there's 2 questions because we had 2 guests. And their question for you is, do you think we could be living in a simulation? And
Oh, you're
If
about to
you
get this man started.
Oh my
don't
God.
think that we're living in a simulation, how do you convince yourself that we're not?
Okay. After I heard Elon Musk talk about this, I am 110% convinced I think I actually talked to Jerry about this. I was like, did you hear that Elon Musk said we're in a simulation? I was like, it is the Matrix.
And for those of them listening who don't know, can you explain a little bit of what Elon Musk said?
I kind of don't remember the whole thing. This was a while ago, but it's on the basis that we could potentially have developed like this sort of like computer system that stimulates life.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't know if I'm getting this 100% right, but it's like if we haven't created it yet, then we might potentially be in it, because it's something weird where the way he put it was technology is advancing so rapidly. And like, I think maybe 10 years ago, we didn't even have smartphones and stuff like that. Like, it was just coming to fruition. And then 10 years prior, it's like dial-up was still a thing. And we just come so far in such a short amount of time that we're kind of like, could potentially hit like this technology peak. And it's like, if we hit the peak, then that means that we're in a simulation, and henceforth the simulation would collapse. Or when we reach like keep advancing, it's like we'll find out we are in a simulation.
Yeah.
And then we'll create another simulation. It's something really weird.
So it's just going to end up being like a black hole of simulations.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
It's
like
terrifying.
if you were playing The Sims and you had your Sims playing the computer game, and in that computer game
Oh,
you were
yeah,
also playing a
exactly.
version of
Yes.
The Sims.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oof.
Endless
What about you,
years.
Jerry? Do you think that we're living in a simulation? And if not, how do you convince yourself that we're not?
I mean, do you think if we were in a simulation, we would be able to have such, like, dreams, you know? And, like, because some people really dream and they go so far in life. And do you think you could really get that far if it was all like a simulation? Don't you think it would, like, kind of come to, like, a cap and you couldn't go any farther? But some people just keep going until the day they die. You know what I mean?
Do you mean dreams as in, like, aspirations and goals? Or
Yes.
dreams as in, like,
No, goals.
REM sleep dreams?
Goals.
Goals. Okay.
Like, you don't think, like, if somebody kept going after their goal and then kept making newer goals.
I mean,
It's the premise of The Sims.
yes, but also it could just be, like, human intention and setting that forth and then letting that pursue you your entire human life.
I agree.
It's a lot of information taken.
Yeah.
It's such a weird theory.
Yeah. So, second question. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Oh shit! There's like
We need an exact number.
I know that there's like an actual answer to this.
I think I know the answer.
13.
I think you're correct.
13
Actually-
wood,
Yes.
I was
he
gonna say.
would
I was
chuck
gonna say 7.
7
I'm
wood.
pretty sure it's
7
13.
wood.
I
That's the
remember
unit.
learning about that in like 5th grade. That there was 13 like woodchucks that a woodchuck could chuck.
How much?
13 wood.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck? And if a woodchuck could chuck wood, you guys are saying respectively 13 wood and
Yes.
7 wood. Wood is our unit of measurement.
Yes, 13 wood to 1 woodchuck.
And you think the definitive answer, Dana, is 13?
I believe so.
Can we live Google this?
I'm gonna live Google it.
We just want, the people need to know.
And
They
in
need
fact,
to know. They
we're
can't be leaving
going
this
to-
podcast with lies.
No, we can't. That is just.
Only half
Not
truths.
That is the Jenkinson's way.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Chuck Norris.
A woodchuck could chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
So there's no definitive answer.
The
It depends on the
woodchuck,
woodchuck.
it depends
There's-
on the woodchuck. doesn't it?
There's a description that says, knowing a cubic foot of soil weighs 20 pounds, that would come to about 700 pounds of dirt that a woodchuck can chuck, and leading by extension to an answer to what was then an 85-year-old question. Whoa, that's old as fuck. That should a woodchuck be so inclined, he could chuck about that many pounds of wood as well. So about 720 pounds?
At once or over a certain period of time?
Could that be 13 trees?
Who
Like
knows?
small
I guess
trees?
the number is like 700.
You're
So
gonna have to ask
the amount of trees could vary, because we all know all
I-
trees don't weigh the same.
I think
Every
the
tree
question.
is
right,
different.
Michael?
I think the question ultimately comes down to how much can a woodchuck chuck?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood, because we're not saying that woodchucks can,
This is a theory.
but it's theoretically.
This is
Reading
Elon
between
Musk.
lines. We're
Elon
just
Musk
reading
invented
between
woodchucks.
lines. So
Call it as we see it here. So, you guys, you wonderful dandy gentlemen,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna start off a little bit easy.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd say on the easier side. We'll ease into it. Easy as easy does. What is the most useless fact you know? Right off the bat.
How's this sneeze one? I gotta like dig deep.
Yeah.
You've forgotten everything you've
Yeah,
ever known
exactly.
up until just now.
Useless. The most useless fact I know.
Yeah, it really wouldn't matter if you knew it or not. It's just taking up brain space.
I honestly, off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to go with something like, you know, the aglet is the name of the thing at the end of the shoelace. I have
That's
to
a
go with
good
something like
one.
that.
Mm.
Because there's no need to ever know that fact, but I know that fact. You know, I've never like this is the only time I've ever had to tell someone else about it.
I learned that fact on Phineas and Ferb.
I was gonna say, I was like, she definitely knows the place.
It was the
We
more
had the whole song for
educational.
it.
They do. I don't remember the song. I remember learning that the aglet is the tip of the shoelace. And they talked about it on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yes, they did.
They
That's
did.
how I discovered the existence of the
Disney's just
aglet.
obsessed with the aglet. They
It
found
was-
out and they're like, we have to tell everyone this is not a useless
Yeah.
fact.
It was a very important. It was a very important message that Disney was sending.
Rolls off the tongue.
Aglet,
The tip of the tongue and the tip of the lace.
the tip of the aglet.
So, my useless fact is that did you know that Sonic the Hedgehog's first name is Maurice?
Is Sonic his last name?
Sonic
His-
is a nickname. So
Who
he is
gave him
By
Maurice
who?
the Hedgehog.
Anyone who's seen him,
Yep.
probably, is like, whoa.
He's just super Sonic.
He's super fucking Sonic.
And his favorite food is chili dogs.
No
So there
way.
you go.
Oh,
There's
wow.
there's a twofer for you.
2 for 1.
2 for 1.
You just outdid yourself.
Thank you. I try.
Well, you know what? Now you can say that they're not so useless of facts. They came quite in handy
Yeah, absolutely.
So
today.
at some point.
Let it be known.
What is a skill that you wish you had?
I wish I was a better artist. Like, I wish
In
I
what
could
way?
draw.
Just like always?
Draw.
Draw.
Yeah, like, I wish I could draw. So I'm kind of, like, pushing myself now to, like, draw more.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wish, like, I could just make some killer drawings, you know?
I feel you. Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. Practice every
What
day.
about you, Mike?
I'd have to say I want to sing. Like, I feel like that's such a cool skill. Like, either that or something to be, like, musically inclined.
Mhm.
Like, I picked up a guitar when I was little, but I never learned how to play. And I
Mhm.
really wish I did, because I can't play any instruments. I can't sing at all.
Michael, I beg to differ. You have a beautiful singing voice.
That's not true, and we are not going to find out. Not on this episode.
Instruments and music is one of the most, like, amazing things in the world.
Mhm.
I used to play violin, and it was the most therapeutic thing for me. I actually bought a violin a year ago, but I haven't gotten the strings changed, and I can't wait to get back into it.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's like a cool instrument. Like, I saw this one guy on Instagram, I forget his name, but he plays, it's like an electric violin. It's like the coolest thing. He does like newer beats to it too.
That's cool.
It's like rad.
Just check him.
Some
Violin
inspiration.
Instagram guy.
Violin Instagram guy. Is that what he goes by?
Michael?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Give that a search.
I mean, you could probably give that a quick search and he'll probably come up.
Yeah, Google knows what's up.
Yeah.
Google knows
Just
all.
like they knew about the woodchucks.
Just how you could type in a few parts of it, like obscure lyrics of a song, and it'll know exactly what you're talking about. And you're
Absolutely.
like, finally.
You could even
that's the
type
one.
in, like, the rhythm of it.
How do you
like-
type in?
Da
Just
da
like-
dee da. Like, capital letters and everything, and it will find the song.
Thank you, Google.
Thanks, Google.
Thanks, Google. You got our backs.
Google's not supporting us, so until we get that sponsorship.
Oh, Yahoo it is. Let's get this Yahoo.
Bing, please.
Do you guys think that you're the type of people who take what you're given, or are you an all or nothing type of person?
All or nothing.
Yeah,
All or nothing?
all or nothing. In it to win it.
I respect that 100%.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We had to wager our extra credit in my history class, so honestly, all for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was,
And when
we were
it
flipping
comes
a coin.
when it comes to you guys like writing a script or something like that, are you like 100% like all or nothing? Like, we are getting this done right now, right here.
I'm more of that than he is. He gets distracted.
I get distracted, but when I'm
Yeah.
on my own, I can write for hours.
Yeah.
But when I'm with him, sometimes we both kind of get distracted a little bit, but me more than him.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm alone, I am a writing machine.
You get into your own little zone.
Yeah, and you just keep going, you know?
Yeah.
first, when you guys were writing Stupid Natural, how long did it take you to like write the script?
I
to
think
get
I wrote it in a day.
created?
Yeah, I think we both wrote that in a day, and then we kind of went over the script and kind of did, because I think we kind of like both wrote our own like mini treatment for it, and then
Okay.
kind of met in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how true he wanted to stay to the show because he was a fan, and then he took my input on it because I really don't know anything about the show. So it's kind of it can be enjoyable for like anyone, even if you don't really know Supernatural.
Yeah. Because, me riding a bicycle down Holiday City in my underwear. It's a treat for the whole family.
If you guys want to see that, go check it out on YouTube. The link will be in the description below.
You will not be disappointed. It was a pleasure to my eyes for the 9 minutes. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So what you said, as you said, you were a fan of the show. Have you always wanted to do like a short film for Supernatural? Like, what made the idea come to you?
I'm a big comedy guy.
Yeah.
And I just want to make people laugh. And I thought, like, with our creative minds, that if we took this idea of like, oh, Supernatural, you could totally do like a twist and make it kind of goofy, and we both knew that we could just like, kill it in that area, so we both put the comedy on it and just put it out there. But I've been a fan of like parodies and stuff like that ever since I was super little.
Okay, so is that more of your style? Would you like to continue doing like the parody work, or?
I do. I think I would, because that's something that comes natural to me. Thinking of ideas that could mimic and kind of launch other ideas, if that makes sense.
Some may say stupid natural.
Yes, Stupid Natural, the killer title.
Let's bring it back to our teenage years. A little bit.
Back in time. Ooh, that's what time
What-
machines sound like.
What do you think was the most difficult part of being a teenager for you guys?
Probably relationships. That's the easiest thing to fuck up.
Yeah. Relationships, like romantically and friendship-wise?
Yeah, pretty much. Because it's like so many people come in and out of your life in
Yeah.
that amount of time. Like
Yeah.
you really like learn how to be social.
Yeah, you're figuring it out.
Yeah, you
so
are.
much. That's
Hella
literally what it
formative
is.
years.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's like the training wheels on life. Pretty much.
Basically.
No, that's when they take it off. That's
Yeah,
the time you're
that's
when
when
they
they
take
start
off the
wiggling.
training wheels.
They start to get wiggly. The bolts start coming loose, and you're like, oh God, what's going on? Mom, am I okay? And she's like, don't worry about it, sweetie, you're doing great.
And then you tip over.
And then there's like a
Scrape
bush
your
out of
knee.
nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's college.
That feeling
That's
when you
college.
when you hit a pebble with the Healy and go flying down a hill.
Oof.
It's one of those,
One time I had Heelys, and I was skating down the street, and then all of a sudden my legs just went farther and farther apart, and I fell into the hardest split. And my little girl body could not do splits.
Which way of a split? The obviously.
Just like my legs split straight
Oof.
and like crotch to
Like
the
a chopstick.
Oh,
ground.
honey.
Yeah. And then I had to be carried home.
Did you keep the Heelys?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck
They
yeah.
They were $50. My mother told me I had to.
You'll wear these whether they'll kill you
Did they
or
push you
not.
down the street on the Heelys? Like, did they lay you on your Heelys?
No,
and
I was
push you down the
carried.
street? Oh, okay.
They laid me on my...
Yeah,
I was
just like a stretcher, they just push you across the street.
Made
No.
ambulance noises, so you got like the full immersive effect.
My wails were the ambulance noises.
The wambulance. Never owned a pair of Heelys.
I'm right there with
I'm
you.
so sorry.
I
It was
know.
a good time.
And that's a big regret for me. I hate that I never bought any. But I heard they started making them again.
Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon.
They're
Yeah, I
back
wanna
in-
jump on it.
They're back
Yes.
in trend.
I'm gonna jump on it.
Early 2000s are gonna be brought back.
I am the reason that Heelys are banned in the Beechwood Quick Check, because I Heelyd in the front door and knocked over a whole cookie display. And they kicked me out, and then they put a sign up the next day that said no Heelys. So it was all
It's
my
still
fault.
there?
I am sorry to everybody in Beechwood who has Heelys.
Is the
Oh my
Healy
gosh.
sign still up?
No. It was
No?
on the old. It was
Oh,
on the old
we
Quick
should go
Check.
back.
Okay, we'll go back.
We'll go
it was
back.
when it was across the street on Route 9. Now it's like the new Quick Check.
Gotcha.
It was when it was the old gross Quick Check.
It's alright, they didn't keep the policy. We gotta reinstate it.
Yeah.
We didn't know. There's no sign up.
Hey man, it's time to start new traditions.
Absolutely.
There you go. Do you guys have any other hobbies besides like filmmaking and creating?
Besides filmmaking and creating?
Mhm.
I mean, really, it's more or less been writing for me, but in a non-creative aspect, I guess just like kind of what most people are into, like video games and sort of just hanging out with friends, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of on the same boat. I like to write a lot. I like to watch different TV shows and cartoons to kind of get ideas, you know, and I like anime, and I also like video games.
Do you have an inspiration from either anime or video games that comes into play with your work?
Not so much as anime. I think more cartoons.
Okay.
Like, well, I grew up watching a lot of, like, Billy and Mandy and, like, SpongeBob and
Awesome.
stuff like that. So that kind of, like, has morphed my brain into what it is now in, like, the creative aspect. Because I like to think more outside the box, just, like, as those cartoons did, like Courage, you know, and Dexter's Lab. Like, all the old ones.
The ones that really stand out.
Yeah. And that's where I kind of get my inspiration from.
That's so dope. I remember watching those shows growing up, and those were some of my favorites. Very, very dry humor for a kid's show,
absolutely.
but it was so fantastic.
Absolutely.
I think that's what makes it so rewatchable. Like, even the parents could kind of get in on it.
Exactly.
They'd be like, what the hell are you watching, dude?
Me and my dad
You're
would
5.
Me and my dad would sit for like hours when I was younger and watch Billy and Mandy, and it was amazing.
Did your parents ever have one of those cartoons that they were just like, no way that you're watching that? That's
Ben
too
10.
weird.
I remember watching...
Really?
Because I used to I remember the moment so vividly, too, because it was when I used to live in Ohio. I'm comfy on the couch, my dog's laying in front of me, and I just remember everything about it, and I'm getting ready for Ben 10 to come on, because it was all over Cartoon Network, like the trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember
Ben 10 was the thing.
Yeah, it was the thing, and it turns on, and it's like I think they were plumbers, right? It was what were
We
they?
were,
Electricians or something. They had like a weird normal job,
yeah.
and it was like the parents.
Because that's
like,
why he had the van.
yeah, and they were
Mhm.
killing a bunch of aliens. And Mom was like, "You are not watching this." I was only like 5 years old. I was like, "What do you mean?"
I love Ben 10. Who's your favorite alien?
I haven't watched it,
I didn't
so
watch Ben 10 enough to know.
I haven't watched it.
The answer is Accelerate.
And what was Accelerate like?
He's the fast one.
Oh.
He's got like little
I
balls on
wouldn't
his
have
feet.
guessed.
And he's blue and he's super fast.
Okay. Did your parents have any cartoons that they were just like, no, too weird?
I wasn't allowed to watch South Park until I was like 15 or 16, but I mean like that's like normal.
Yeah.
But like no, yeah, it was just not. Like I would watch it on like Netflix, and my mom would come in my room, and I would shut the TV off so fast. Like I'm not watching South Park. You should turn the TV on. She's like, I knew you were watching it. Shut it off. And I was like, I'm sorry.
My mom hated Cat Dog.
That's such a good show.
My dad hates Fairly Odd Parents.
What?
He thinks that is the most annoying show of all time, except the Channel Chasers movie. The Channel Chasers movie is
That's phenomenal.
magnificent, but that whole show is so annoying.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, Cat Dog, she thought it was unholy.
I mean, I could see, like, anatomically why your mom would be
And
particularly
she's not
weirded
a
out.
holy woman, so...
Diane.
Cat and
Diane.
dog. Cat dog is neither holy.
Did you
the
have
way it
any
seems.
restrictions about cartoons when you were a kid?
No. Not really.
Oh.
Not really.
She got way
I
off
mean,
on
I
everything.
would...
She's been watching South Park since she was like 2. Family Guy since
Right
she
off
was
the
like 4.
womb. It was what was playing on the
TV.
on the TV in the hospital room. I used to watch the new episodes of Family Guy with my dad every Sunday.
I can't stand Family Guy.
I hate Family Guy.
Mm-mm. I can't
Ouch.
do it.
Tough room. Go ahead.
Jerry and Mike, do you guys have a role model for your aspirations for filmmaking and acting?
I would say for acting, it would. My big inspirations are like the good like '90s comedy gods, like
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell,
Mm.
and but one man has always stood out to me, and it's been Jack Black. Like I've been a Jack Black fan ever since I was in elementary school, and the way that he's so creative with his movies and his band Tenacious D
Yeah.
has always been like such like an inspiration to me as like, you know, just a funny dude who got somewhere, and that's what I'm trying to strive for.
You've always carried his energy.
Thank you.
Like, a lot of times lately when I, like, see you on social media and stuff like that, I just, like, see, like, that type of comedy, like, coming out of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're freaking killing it. What about you, Mike?
For directing and stuff, I'd probably say Quentin Tarantino. And I will agree with anyone. He's the weirdest man, one of the weirdest people I've ever seen. And he just, out of the box, he's just like a huge movie buff. He was always into it growing up. He knows like every movie ever made. And he dropped out of high school and just went on to have like this super successful career because he just has a love for the craft. So
Yeah.
I'd probably say him, but acting I don't really have anyone because I hate acting altogether. I'm only acting in the movies, so we could not find someone to do that
Yeah.
role. I'm just like, all right, I'll do it. Why not?
So you would much rather do like the directing behind
Yeah.
the scenes work?
Yeah, I love being behind the camera.
Yeah. Nice.
So, if you guys were to turn any movie into a musical and have it instantly be improved, what movie would that be?
Jurassic Park.
Oh my god, dancing dinosaurs.
Absolutely. There would be a whole dance number centered around Clever Girl. Like when the Velociraptor sticks his head out of the bushes and he goes, Clever Girl. That would be its whole like a whole 10-minute thing, and it would be amazing.
Just a song called Clever Girl.
Yes, and it would just be Velociraptors doing their dancing, you know?
I'd probably have to go with The Matrix. I feel like it'd be so funny to see people dancing in like slow motion and stuff, you know? Like doing the whole
That would
bullet
be an
time thing.
epic,
That'd
you
be
know?
epic. And then they could do the whole Spider-Man, like with that old Spider-Man Broadway thing, where they were like jumping around on like strings and stuff. Do you
Oh my
remember
God,
that?
I can.
Yeah,
I
Spider-Man
think
fell on a
They'd be
dude.
flying around in the Matrix and stuff,
Spider-Man
punching
was
each
on
other.
Broadway.
Yeah, and he fell on somebody.
What?
That's why it's not on Broadway anymore.
What?
Yeah, see, he fell on somebody.
Did not know that.
Yep. Spider-Man into the dark.
No more spidey senses tingling. No more feelings in the legs.
Speaking of feelings, do you guys have... Okay, can you tell me your favorite memory from you guys creating in 3 words?
It just happened.
Director Mike's here.
No further questions if you don't want to explain.
About
Your 3 words.
What just happened was, it was the first thing we made, which was Skateboarding Slasher, and I had just met Jerry, and I was gonna make this short little film thing for a skateboarding company because they were having a short film contest.
Okay.
We didn't win.
We did not win,
There's
but we
always next
tried.
time.
We tried.
Yes.
But I had like a bunch of people in order to play some characters, but everyone just dropped out last minute. I just called Jerry and I was like, Jerry, I really need your help. Can you find people and just meet me at the park? And all of a sudden he just shows up with like,
It was like 6 people.
yeah, I'm like, this is more people than we needed. Like, this is awesome. And I guess it just happened. Like, and that was like the start to everything.
Nice.
Big bang.
Yeah.
What about you, Jerry?
Oh, Director Mike. When me and Mike are making a nice short film, and the day starts going on, and the scenes keep having to be reshot, my buddy Director Mike comes out of my pal Michael, and he's just not. He is right to the point director, if that makes sense. Director Mike is my favorite.
Let me get one thing across
Cool,
though.
okay.
I'm fine doing the reshoots. I'm like, let's have more than we need. But when you have the main actor and you're like ready to say action, like the light looks perfect, you're like everyone looks good. Let's do this. This is the take. And then you have wait, hold on, Mikey. Did you press it yet? Let me show you this meme. And I'm just like, Jerry, we need to do this. And this happens like the whole day for like the rest of the shoot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
There was a good like. The scene in Supernatural when we're sitting at the table. There's a scene in Supernatural where like Mike is like telling us a story and we're sitting at like a dining table, like a dining room kitchen table, and a scene that was how long? Like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Took us about 45 minutes to shoot because of so many noises in the background. Me and his brother who plays Dean, we were just laughing, and then we almost got it perfect, and then Mike started laughing, and it was just like one of the worst shots we've ever had.
Oh my god.
It was a shit show.
It was a doozy.
Yeah.
That's
Quite
why
crazy.
if you see my brother in the background, he's the dude with the long hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he,
Well, he's covering his mouth because he was still laughing after like good
I was
15
like, dude,
minutes.
just put your. I'm just like, sit like this, put your hand
Solid
over your
improv.
mouth. Yeah, and you can still kind of see.
Yeah,
but it's
you can see him
definitely
start
way less
smiling, and
noticeable.
it's
Your younger brother played a very main role
Yeah.
in your short film. Did you have him in mind? play
Not
the
at
role?
all. It was actually supposed to be me and Jerry acting in it, and we had someone else that was gonna be like the camera person, but I don't know why. I guess it's just because I was filming it and directing it. Like I was going fully with Jerry's story and everything, but it was kind of like my vision too. You know?
Yeah, like,
so.
I was like the inspiration, like the idea and like the script, and he was like the angles and the shots and the
Yeah, so I had like a
Create,
vision of how I want everything to look.
Yeah.
And then it was also the idea that whenever I shoot something, there's a specific way I want to edit it.
Yes.
Like when I know I want a specific pan, I'm gonna edit and shoot so that pan like works well. Like it can't really be edited any other way.
Yeah.
So when we had a different camera person, it's like maybe a little bit higher than I like it, maybe a little bit lower, and it was just weird trying. I guess I can't really act and direct. That's something I have to work on. But it's just something I haven't mastered yet, and it just got to the point where I was like, okay, Tyler, my brother, I'm like, hey, you want to because he was supposed to play the part I played and be the toe eater, or not the toe eater,
the flesh eater.
Yeah, and he was actually supposed to be Gary's part, and then we all switched around, and it just ended up the way it was.
Yeah, it's like, Tyler, you're gonna do this. He's like, okay.
Yeah, he kind of just goes along with it.
Good sport.
Good, yeah.
Oh, he is the best. Props to Tyler.
Yeah. As long as he has nothing on the agenda, we just barge in his room. We're like, Tyler, we're making something new. You want to be in? He's like, do I have a choice? I guess I'll do it.
All right, guys, we're gonna spin it a little bit. We're gonna get a little deep.
A little deep.
Ooh.
Ready to dive in?
What would you say is the biggest misconception of people our age?
That's a good question. Biggest misconception that you can still act the way and everything that you did in high school. Like you can still just go about that way. Like you can kind of just hang out, go on your phone,
Yeah.
like smoke with your friends, and drink, do whatever you want, and then like not put in the work. Like when me and Jerry, like for instance, when me and Jerry make something, we're like all in for it. Like you have to be that way if you want to go somewhere. You can't just relax and sit on the silence and
Expect something to happen.
exactly. So I'd say definitely that aspect of it.
I would like to hear about words that have impacted you throughout your life, whether it be someone talking to you and they said something to you and it just like completely rocked your fucking world.
When I was about 9 or 10, my dad took me to go meet David Silverman, who is one of the main writers of The Simpsons, and he was at the Ocean County Library, and it was like a conference hall, and the place was filled with just like college students and like adults, and me as a 10-year-old and my dad, and like we were totally out of place, but I love The Simpsons, so my dad took me to go like meet the guy, and then we were doing like a meet and greet after it, and he saw me like how like young I was, and he reached over the table and shook my hand. He was like, hey, he's like, my name is David Silverman. I'm like, it's a pleasure to meet you. And him and I just had this conversation about like cartoons and ideas and how much I loved his work. And he also co-wrote Monsters Inc. or something like that. Like he was a big writer of like Monsters Inc. too.
Oh my gosh.
And just meeting him, and like it was like a dream, just to like see somebody who's impacted like your childhood so hard, even as you are still a child.
Yeah.
And you still have this thing that you just like adore, and meeting somebody like at that young of an age can impact you further. Like I think that is why I'm into what I am, like creating and writing different ideas, and like I take a lot of stuff from The Simpsons as well. Like that's a big inspiration to me, and just meeting him was kind of just set me in the direction I want to go in.
Yeah. It was just like, I want that energy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
get that energy.
Something that happened to me.
Something that happened to you, words that you just carry with you.
Well, for words that I carry with me, it's actually a weird quote from John Cena.
I want to hear it.
It's
Interesting.
happiness isn't a destination. You have to enjoy the journey. I don't think that's word for word, but essentially, like if you're in a shitty mood all the time, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna be happy one day. Like I need to reach that destination. You're not gonna find it because you have to enjoy everything. Like there's ups and downs. Might as well go with the flow.
Exactly.
I love John Cena.
So I'd say that I carry with me.
Yeah,
That's a good quote.
Those are good words to carry with you.
Yeah.
Because it's better to just enjoy the beauty of everything instead of dwelling on how everything sucks.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything's so fixable.
Yeah.
Like at work or something. Like say it's like stupidly busy or something weird like that. I'll just be saying the goofiest shit to customers.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be so busy. Everyone's like cursing at each other and everyone's like yelling like I need this, I need that. And I'll get everything ready for the customer. I'll be like, have a wonderful Wawa Wednesday. And they'll like look at me and they'll be like, what? I'm like waving to them, and it's just that aspect.
Same thing when I'm at Target. Like people, like coworkers, just have like shitty days, and they take their shitty attitudes out on their coworkers because they can't take it out on customers.
Yeah.
But I don't think me and Mike also work together at Target. We work in the electronics department, and we kill the game every day.
Come by and visit.
Yes. I don't think I've ever had one bad experience in that Target that has literally kept me from not having a smile on my face and just enjoying it, enjoying my time there. Just like Mike said, like just goofing around with like customers, like low key. You know, like answering the phone is thank you for calling Target Electronics. This is Big Chungus. How may I help you? And just stuff like that, you know. And it's just you got to be happy.
Yeah.
You just got to push through it.
I remember when I worked in retail. Every customer that I would ring up, I would always end it with "Have a beautiful day," because people just aren't nice enough and like don't care to wish people to have a good day or like a better day than normal. And I remember like especially older ladies would always like stop and be like, "That was so sweet," and I'd just be like, "Yeah, have a beautiful day. Like I hope your day is beautiful." And it would always like take people by surprise that like you were wishing them nice.
Absolutely. The world is such a shitty place sometimes. There's no need to contribute to it at all. Bring the fun with you. Even make any situation fun. Spark the fun.
Speaking of sparking the fun, that was a beautiful way for me to segue. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're welcome.
What do you guys do if you're approaching like a creative burnout to spark your creativity?
I just watch a bunch of movies.
Do you?
Yeah, that's primarily the reason I took a world cinema class. It kind of taught you about everything everywhere. So stuff like In the Mood for Love, Repo Man. I found out about that's more American though.
I love Repo Man.
You've seen Repo Man?
Yeah, absolutely.
That movie's so awesome. And like 8.5 and just
The Room.
Bicycle Thieves, like stuff like that, just to try and like just spark something where I'm like, okay, if I was watching this movie, this simple movie, let's take Bicycle Thieves, and it's about a dad that has to ride his bicycle to work every day, and his bicycle that gets stolen, and his father and son going out to try and find the bicycle so that he can keep working and provide for his kids. And it's like, okay, like that's a pretty simple movie, but then I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, how, like, where would this go? Like, if I was writing this movie, I don't know where the hell I'd take it. Like, there's a million different things you can do, so it's kind of just seeing what other creative minds would do with something given to them.
What about you, Jerry?
I watch a lot of old cartoons. Like I watch a lot of Looney Tunes or like early '90s Cartoon Network, like Dexter's Laboratory and stuff like that, to really kickstart ideas into my head. You know, and like what Michael said as well, how you can take other stories and kind of branch off of them and make your own, like kind of like Dexter's Laboratory, for instance. Like you could take watch an episode, you know, and then always think of how that story could expand, and from expanding from that story, you could think of something completely different, but also similar, and it could make something new, you know?
Yeah.
If that
does make sense.
makes sense.
It does. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap it up very shortly,
Okay.
but I have a couple more questions for you guys.
Okay.
My next question is, are you guys proud of where you are today and how your life is going?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. I after I graduated high school in 2015, I went to OCC for about a year and I dropped out, and I just started working at a bank, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. I wanted to go back to school, but I never had the push to go back.
Yeah.
But then I had a conversation with both of my parents, and they enlightened me, as now that I'm an adult, I took what they said with more heart instead of as a teenager. I was just like, whatever, Mom, whatever, Dad. And I took their words of encouragement, and it really pushed me, because they both just want to see their son excel.
Yes.
So I took that to heart, and I want to do what I do for my parents.
Okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
Very nice. And what about you, Mike?
You repeat the question.
Are you proud of where you are in your life
proud?
and where it's heading?
I mean, I'd say somewhat. Like, I'm proud of, like that I've gone up off my ass and I've started making stuff, and I found someone to collaborate with. I'm proud about that, but I haven't reached where I'd like to be yet. Like, there's still so much more that I'd like to do before I'd even say, like, I'm ready to say, like, oh yeah, I'm a filmmaker and I'm a director and stuff like that. Like, I feel like you have to earn that title, and I feel like I'm not there yet.
So do you feel good about where you're
Where
heading?
it's going? Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say proud yet. I feel like it takes some time to get there. But in your case, absolutely, like, that's something to be proud
You're
about.
so sweet, Michael. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
Dominique, would you like to ask one last question?
I think my last question that I'm going to ask you is, What comes to your mind when you think of home?
My dog.
Your dog?
Yeah.
What's your dog's name?
His name's Oliver.
Mhm.
He is a Craigslist mutt. I got him for $200.
Wow.
And he is my whole heart. I've never bonded with an animal in my life other than this dog. He's like my best friend. He's so happy to see me when I come home, and it just fills my heart. And that is home. Home is Oliver.
Oh, the best.
What about you?
I would say, because I have divorced parents, so I'd say basically wherever someone I love is, you know? So I'd say, like, I have a lot of homes.
I can relate to that 110%.
I also agree. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that's very sweet. Now, we need you guys to ask us and our future guests a question.
Ooh.
What is your favorite movie and why?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm actually very intrigued. That's an awesome question.
Thank you.
I'm such a movie buff. I'm excited.
See, I don't know. Actually, okay. It's my favorite movie because it's so off the wall and just like, I can't believe this movie exists, but I'm so thankful that it exists. It is called Rubber.
Oh, the tire movie.
The tire movie.
Basically, you just gave the whole synopsis.
It is a killer tire that has telekinetic powers that can crunch things, make people's heads blow up. It is chilling from beginning to end.
I feel like what makes it so good is it knows it's a B movie, and it strives in every way to be the B movie that it's destined to become.
But it also, like, breaks the fourth wall in so many different ways that, like, people are standing on top of a mountain watching the movie happen, but then they all, like, there's, like, a whole subplot with them, and it, oh my god.
And there's no question about it, and you're just like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening.
Yeah,
This is the movie I'm watching.
And the beginning scene of the guy, like, hitting all of the chairs, and then he, like, talks to the camera, I was just like, what is happening?
Like, wow, this next hour and something minutes is going to be a trip.
Hands down, one of the most artistically pleasing movies I've ever seen.
I'm surprised you didn't say Satan's Little Helper.
Oh.
That movie,
That
that
movie's a
movie is a standalone
Is that
creation.
the movie where it has the one scene where the killer rips out the dad's intestines and ties them?
Oh my god, she knows what Satan's Little Helper is?
I
I thought I was the only person who knew what that movie was because I've shared it to probably about 20 people. Like, all of my friends, I've seen this movie probably about 20 times.
That's how I found out about it from you.
He forced me to watch that movie once.
Oh, I haven't seen the whole thing. I haven't seen the whole thing.
I thought we watched it in your
vividly
room.
remember
We didn't
that
watch the whole thing.
movie.
We watched a review of the movie.
Yeah, it's
like a
very
30-minute
interesting.
review of it.
Well done,
There's no reason
slasher
that movie.
film.
Nobody knows what that movie is.
Oh, I thought it was by someone. Unless
No.
we skipped through it or something weird. I
don't think
remember
so.
snippets.
What
I
is
don't
your
know.
favorite movie, Dominique?
I think one of my favorite movies of all time. I used to fall asleep to it every single night when I was a kid, to the point where I didn't ever get to the ending until like a year after watching it, and I saw the ending, and I was like, oh my god, they made a sequel? Only to find out it was just the ending. Nightmare Before Christmas?
Ugh, I don't like that movie.
No,
No.
I do.
Not a fan.
I highly enjoy the creepy aspect mixed with the music aspect because I am a fan of musicals, and it's Tim Burton. It hits all the marks for me.
There you go. What is your guys' favorite movie? Are we allowed to ask back?
It's our goddamn podcast. We
No,
can do what we want.
I guess you're right.
What's yours? You're first.
Oof. I'm gonna say from like a good movie standpoint, because I have like two favorite movies. It's like the worst movie, but like best movie, and then good movie. My good movie is probably gonna say the Lego Movie, just because of just because how the message is against like corporations and like businesses and stuff like that, and the way they do it is not in your face. The way they do it is subtle, and it's like easy for the plot to progress by the way that they brought this message. And the way they constructed it too was a lot of animation, and they also, for like half the movie, wasn't like CGI, it was actually them stop motioning Legos, which is super cool. And I just think that's like sick.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Amazing.
Nice.
That's why.
You didn't say the other movie. What's the other movie?
Oh, The Room by
Oh,
Tommy
good.
Wiseau.
Good.
That's
Everyone
it.
needs to
What
know
about
that.
you, Mike? What's your favorite movie?
It's kind of like a three-way tie.
Okay.
It's kind of a three-way tie. I'd say Memento.
Okay.
Have you guys seen that movie?
No.
No.
Highly recommend it. I'd say Memento, Strangers on a Train. Have you guys heard of that movie?
No.
Think so.
Alfred Hitchcock. It's so good. I highly recommend that. And then I'd say Django Unchained is awesome.
Highly recommend that.
Highly recommend that.
And what is your question for us and the next guest?
Why did you guys make a podcast?
Why?
Yeah, why did you guys decide to do a podcast?
Well, we just thought that we had a message or some kind of voice that people would want to listen to. And I think everyone around our age is just trying to figure it out and can relate to everything that we talk about in some capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of times where me and Dana were sitting in her garage talking, and we would just get into these crazy conversations, and we would just branch off from those conversations and just start at point A and end at point Q.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just be thinking like, hey, we should do this, but with a microphone between us. And kind of like how you guys, we bounce off of each other really well. We do have similar creative energy. So it kind of made sense.
We're two peas in a podcast.
2 peas in a podcast.
Oh, that's a
Ah,
good one.
new name.
Alright, we're rebranding, guys. Back to square one. Scrap
And
everything.
Mike, what is your question for our next guest?
Did you ask one for the next guest?
Yeah, it was
I
the movie one.
thought that was the question for the next guest.
Oh, that isn't the question for the next guest? Oh my god, that's such a hard question. Oh my
we can
god.
just stick with the movie question. It could be from both of you.
What's your favorite scent of Yankee Candle?
Perfect.
Ooh,
Ooh,
solid.
sea breeze.
Good thing
Mine-
that candle's sitting there.
Mine is
Inspiration.
I don't remember what it's called. It's like lemon thyme or something like that. Lemon lavender is also key.
I was going to say lemon lavender is my favorite.
2 peas in a podcast. I'm
peas
telling
in
you.
Brand it.
All right, Jerry and Mike, can you tell the listeners where they can find you on social media if they're interested in talking to you?
You can find me on Instagram at m.j.riccardi, RICCIARDI. And then we also have our collaborative YouTube channel, Low Budget Films. And I also have my own YouTube channel where I post little short projects that we do. Stuff that's not as long as Supernatural, like 10 minutes or less. So that is also MJ Riccardi.
Okay, what about you, Jerry? Where can they reach you?
I have an Instagram. It is J3RBEAR_ as in Jerber, but the E is a 3.
Okay.
And also Low Budget Films on YouTube.
Nice.
Thank you.
Alright, so we're going to leave the listeners with a message from you guys. Basically, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this episode of the podcast?
Follow your dreams and kill it in the process.
There you go.
If you want to do it, just do it.
There you go. I like it.
Thank
This
you.
was a wonderful podcast, and I'm so glad that you guys came on. I'm so glad we had this
Thank you for having
conversation.
us.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. And we will talk to you next week. Dominique, where can they find you on social media?
If y'all are interested, you could find me on either Twitter or Instagram at DommyDarko. That's DOMMY_DARK and the number 0.
Oh, yeah. That's right,
Yeah.
baby. Heyo! And you guys can find me on Twitter at DanaRenee_ and on Instagram at DanaRenee__. I'm working on it. I get it. DANARENEE_ ___. Figure it out, I guess. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Boy.